Hello friends, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these really easy and cute heart dog bandanas. They're great for Valentine's Day or just any kind of time of the year. So let's go ahead and jump into materials and let's get started with today's tutorial. The material that we will be using for today's video is 2 colors of 4-weight yarn. So I'm going to be using this red and white. These are red heart yarns. We will also need a 5mm or an H crochet hook. You will also need a tapestry needle to sew in your ends and sew the heart on, and that's all we need. Let's go ahead and get started. To begin, we do want to start with a slip knot, just like most standard crochet tutorials. From here, we are going to make a chain of 2. So 1 and 2. From here, we're actually just going to slip stitch back into our first chain, and then we are going to make a chain of 3, and that will count as a stitch. So not into this stitch, but into our very first stitch. Go ahead and go in there, make a slip stitch. Now we are going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now that we have that, this is going to count as our first double crochet. We're going to make 2 more double crochets back into the same space. So yarn over, go through 2, and go through 2. So there's our second stitch. We want to have a total of 3. So we're going to do it one more time. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Now we are going to chain 2. And then back into that same space, we're going to make 3 double crochets. So here is 1, 2, and then one more time into that same space for 3. Okay, so that's what it looks like. We have our chain 2 and then our 2 double crochets, so we have a total of 3 over here. Chain 2 for our middle, and then we have 3 more double crochets. So now what we're going to do is we are going to chain up 1 and turn. And then into this very first space, in the very last space of every row, we're going to be placing 2 double crochets into the same space. So we're going to yarn over, and right here, directly straight down, we're going to place 2 double crochets into the same space. So there is 1, and here is 2. Okay, so now we have 2 more stitches remaining before we get to our middle part. So we are going to just place 1 double crochet into each of those stitches. So there is 1, I'm standing on my yarn, and right here is 2. At this point, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets, and then now we are at our chain 2 space for the middle. So we're going to place 2 double crochets into this space, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets back into the same space. So it's going to look like this. So we will do a double crochet right there into the center. We're going to do 1 more double crochet back into the center. Chain 2, 1 and 2, and then again back into that same space we are going to place 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. So that's what it looks like so far. Now we need to work back down the other side. So we have 3 more stitches, but remember in this last one is our chain 3 space. We want to make sure that we're working in there, and then we're placing 2 double crochets in that last one. Okay, so here's our next stitch. We'll place 1 double crochet, and this following stitch right here we will place 1 double crochet, and then into the chain that we had made right here for our chain of the first row, we want to either get into that chain right there, and then we're going to place 2 double crochets into that chain. So we need to increase. So there's 1, and again back into that space we'll do 2. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches on each side. We have our chain 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is what we're going to be repeating until we have the appropriate amount of rows. I'm going to do a total of 11 rows, I believe. So we're going to chain up 1, turn our work, and then directly back into that same space. That's where we want to increase, so we're going to place 2 double crochets into the same space. So there's 1, and here is 2. Okay, and then you will simply double crochet along all of these stitches here. When you get into the center, we'll do the same as before. We'll do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then we do double crochets all the way back down the other side until we get to the end. We will place 2 double crochets into that same space. So far we have completed 2 rounds. We're working on row 3. Now go ahead and do as many rows as you need for your size dog. However, I would do 11 to 12 rows for a medium to a large size dog. So go ahead and do that and then meet me back here. This is what it should look like once you have your 11 rows done. Now I did finish with my 2 double crochets here at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and take half of my stitch out, and we're just going to actually change colors over to our white yarn. So we have our 2 loops on the hook. We want to go ahead and grab our other color of yarn, and you can make a slip knot if you would like. Now we're going to put that on our hook, and we are going to pull the white yarn through both of our reds here. Okay, so you can go ahead and cut your red yarn, leaving a little bit of a tail so that we can tie that and sew that all in together later. Now what we're going to do is we are actually going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet all the way around the edge, back up and back over. So let's go ahead and start with that. So we'll chain 1, turn our work. Now we're going to work back along the edge, going until we get to our point. So right here, let's try to get the camera to focus. Right into this first stitch, we are just going to place 1 single crochet, just like that, and then 1 single crochet all the way down until we get to the point, and then meet me back here and I'll show you what to do when we get to that spot. Okay, we have made it to our chain space right in the middle. So what we're going to do is we are going to place 2 single crochets. There's 1, here's 2. We'll chain 2, 1 and 2, and then place 2 single crochets back into that same space. There's 1, and here is 2. Okay, so now we are simply going to work into the next stitch and place a single crochet, and we are going to single crochet all the way back up until we get to the other side here. Alright, so here I have made it all the way around. Now we want to work across the top here. Now where we are going to be working is we're going to work over our double crochets and then in the middle spaces. Double crochet and like this little spot here in between the double crochets. So we're just going to go directly right here. And this does not have to be an exact number, but just kind of work your way across the top of your work here, and then meet me back when you get to the other side. Alright, we have made it all the way across to the other side. Now we will chain up one, leave a little bit of a tail for sewing, and cut that. And then we're going to pull this tight, and then go ahead and make an extra knot. Now what we are going to do is we are going to make a chain stitch, and then we will attach it to the side that we did not just finish on, but on the opposite side. So go ahead, make a slip knot, and then we are going to chain 50. You can make this chain more or less depending on how much you want for the tie portion of your dog bandana. So for me, I'm going to do 50, but go ahead and make however many chains that you would like, and then remember that number because we're going to need to do it on the other side. Make your chain and meet me back here. Okay, so now I have my chain of 50, and I misspoke earlier, so we are going to actually attach on the side that we had just finished off on. So going into the very first stitch that we had made, we are just going to go in and make a single crochet. And then we are going to single crochet all the way along the top of our bandana until we get to the other side. Then we will make the same amount of chains that we made over here. So for me, that will be 50 chains. So just go ahead and work this, and I'll meet you back here. Alright, now that we have made it all the way to the other side, like I said, we're just going to make the same amount of chains. So if you're following along with me, go ahead and make 50 chains, and then all we have to do is make our heart and sew that on, and meet me back here. Alright, so I just finished my 50 chains, so we're going to go ahead, cut off, and pull that tight. Now, so that I don't have to sew these in, what I like to do is kind of fold it over like this, and then make a knot that includes the tail, and then just pull that up to the tip and make that tight. And then once I have that done, I go ahead and I just cut the end. And then do that on the other side. Go ahead and sew in all of your ends. Make your heart. I do have in the description box down below, I have a link for a video on my how to make a heart. Do that in whatever color. I'm going to do it in the white, and then meet me back here and I will show you kind of how I sew it on. Now that we have our heart made, you just figure out where you would like to attach this at. You can put it in the center, you can put it off to the side, whatever you'd like. I think I am going to put it right in the middle. So when I do this, I just go straight in and back out, in and out for the sewing process. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we will have the final product. And this is what you have when it is all completed. Congratulations, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you thought, and if you would like to see more patterns and tutorials like this one. And I will see you guys all next time on Dream9 Designs Yarn Corner of YouTube.